What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and Finna saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video guys, I have several quite interesting news. First of all, I will show you some information that might add even more questions to the list for Greg McCabe and for the board of directors of NextBridge Hydrocarbons. On top of that, I will show you some updates from the Capitol Hill. And yesterday I showed you my confusion about the position of Robert Kennedy. But for now, I found the issue and I will show it to you. On top of that, I will show you quite interesting due diligence that was made by one of our community members that explains in details all the connections, all the relationships in between the wrongdoers and authorities. And I will show you how important this information might be in the light of our litigations. And at the end of this video, finally, I hope to show you the tweet and the information from George Palacros in regards to the spoofing activity and how this activity might be detected. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. And let's start with this tweet that was reposted by Scott Roth, and it was originally written by Jason. And Jason wrote, I would like to know where the Louisiana assets are, so I may find details on them. I don't see any leasers for MPC on here. When were they acquired and which company are they under? NextBridge Hydrocarbons. And guys, Jason added this document and it is the Louisiana Department of Energy and Natural Resources lease ownership by owner. And it is quite long document for more than, you can see right here, for almost 2,000 pages. And I have to say that it is quite difficult to find the real owner of the Louisiana assets that supposedly were given by Greg McCabe to NextBridge Hydrocarbons in order to support the intrinsic value of NextBridge Hydrocarbons shares. And guys, take a look right here. If you try to find in this document, let's say next, in order to see the NextBridge Hydrocarbons, you can see there's 0 matches. But if you try to find NextBridge Hydrocarbons, you can see several matches, but none of them, as you can see, there's 11 matches, but none of them is NextBridge Hydrocarbons. And guys, so let me show you that, wait a second, at the very top of this document, you can see that the report ran on November the 7th. So it is just 4 days old, and I think the name of NextBridge Hydrocarbons should be in this list, but I cannot find it here, and that is why it might give us even more rights to ask this question for Greg McCabe. And let me show you some comments under this tweet. Your favorite SGM, the person who wrote a letter with the questions for Greg McCabe and board of directors, and I covered these questions basically yesterday. He wrote the following: I'd write your own shareholder request for information and ask about it. I'm tired of sitting on my hands waiting for ex post to save the day. Take action, feel free to use my template and ask whatever you want. You do own a stake in the company, yeah? Seems reasonable to ask. And Jason added this. He basically has 1,675 shares between Robinhood and E-Trade. And he also added, I'm sending mine out Tuesday because of the holiday on Monday. And I have to say that we are about to see another set of questions for Greg McCabe. And I have to admit that for now we don't have proper answers from him in order to see his support to all of the MMTLP and basically for now NextBridge Hydrocarbons shareholders. So let me show you another update. Just yesterday I showed you that I couldn't find the tweet where Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Mentioned about his support of retail community, and I found it basically on May 21st, and I showed you this tweet in one of my videos last May, and I have to say that yes, he didn't delete this tweet, but at the same time, guys, if you take a look on his recent posts, there is 0 posts about the retail investors, and on the one hand, it is totally okay to see just the support of Donald Trump and his case, but on the other hand, he explained several times that he supports the retail investors. And to be honest, I would like to see this type of tweets in his latest updates, but unfortunately I cannot see it. At the same time, guys, Chris Ross, who just recently became a new senator of the United States of America, again published this tweet in support of basically retail investors. And it is not directly related to MMTLP case, but it is related to the actions that should be done in order to have fair and transparent markets. He wrote this: "To make our markets free and fair once again, will Donald Trump should fire Gary Gensler and Esther Pierce and appoint Charles Payne to head up the SEC immediately." So, quite interesting tweet, especially he chose Charles Payne to be the SEC, the head of SEC. So, let me show you that another association calls for the resignation of Gary Gensler, and Meta News wrote this 13 hours ago. Just in, the American Securities Association calls for the immediate resignation of the SEC chair Gary Gensler. And guys, to be honest, I didn't know what is this association about, but let me show you this in details. ASA calls on SEC chair Gensler to immediately step down. Following the overwhelming results in the 2024 US election, the American Securities Association called on Securities and Exchange Commission Chairman Gensler to immediately step down. And here is the direct speech from them. Last night, the people voted for this country to take a new direction, and Chairman Gensler should respect that vote by stepping down from his position immediately. This is the only way for America's working families, retirement savers, and small businesses to rebuild their trust and confidence in the institution of the SEC, said ASA President and CEO Chris Iacovella. And here is some information about the association itself. The American Securities Association represents the retail and institutional capital markets interests of regional financial services firms who provide Main Street businesses with access to capital and advise hard-working Americans how to create and preserve wealth. And I have to say that we have more and more these type of calls to action, and definitely I think Gary Gensler will be fired within next, I think from couple of weeks to couple of months. By the end of this year, I'm sure he will be fired. And definitely it is a good step towards the fair and transparent markets in general, because we know that we know from the FOIA letters that SEC covers some wrongdoers, and they covers FINRA, even FINRA's action in order to protect their own interests and to protect their financial interests, that is more important. And I have to admit that for now we might see huge changes on the US stock market, and definitely one of them is the resignation of Gary Gensler. So let me show you another quite interesting update that is related to the Statute of Limitations. Keycap wrote this Statute of Limitations, and basically he added a couple of paragraphs from the rules itself. It is a paragraph 1658 section B, and I want to pay attention to this paragraph. This statute effectively limits the time within which a person can bring a securities fraud claim to no more than 2 years from the date they discovered the fraud, or should have reasonably discovered it, and no more than 5 years from the date of the violation itself. This dual limitations period is designed to prevent indefinite liability while allowing time for fraud that may not be immediately apparent to be uncovered. And he also added this: 2 years after the discovery of facts. Do we have the facts now? Personal opinion, I don't think so. Not financial advice. FOIA requests are one part of it. And he explains the tolling. In cases where deliberate concealment or misrepresentation has occurred, the courts may apply a doctrine called fraudulent concealment, which can toll, in other words, pause the statute of limitations. This means that if a defendant actively conceals information that would reveal fraud, the 2-year time frame may not start until the plaintiff actually discovers the concealed information, provided they exercise reasonable diligence in trying to uncover it. And guys, here is the answer of Mark Basile. And I have to say that he still thinks that we don't have much time till the statute of limitations expires. He wrote this: you have the first part of the analysis mostly right. The second is case law interpreting notice. And for federal securities laws, it's not actual notice, it's a constructive notice. Case law defines that. Most litigants are shocked when courts grant motions to dismiss based on SOL expiration. So why chance it? Makes no sense. It's likely December the 9th or when the FOIA request was made public, showing that MMTLP hit FINRA and SEC radar. Its agencies acknowledging some sort of fraud happened. Has nothing to do with share count or any other technical fact that the community does not know right now. And this tweet was written by Mark just yesterday, several hours ago. And I have to say that yes, the statute of limitations is still somewhere around December the 9th or even earlier, and only judge will decide about this deadline. And for now we have basically the only case that is still active right now. It is the case of Scott Trott. And I have to say that so far we don't have the most recent updates from him in regards to his litigation, but nevertheless I will do my best in order to show you the most recent information when it appears. So, and let me show you another quite interesting due diligence that was made by RareDD. And for now, in light of the recent basically recent updates from the Capitol Hill and from the news that potentially might lead to the resignation of Gary Gensler, we have very interesting information from this side. So RareDD wrote, before MMTLP, wait a second, this is the first tweet. How many links are there between FINRA, GTS Securities, Georgetown, Modern Markets Initiative and Milken Institute? How might they be connected to manipulation in OSTCO and MMTLP? A thread of mostly pictures. And guys, I have to say that he added a lot of pictures, and these pictures is nothing else but the basically parts of the video that was made by RareDD somewhere, I guess, this spring. And I have to admit that it was quite long video, for more than 1 hour long, 1.5, I guess, hours long. And where he explains all the connections between Ari Rubinstein, James Angel, Michael Pivovar and other people who were involved in this saga. And let me show you another detail. He added this: before MMTLP there was OSTCO. Who was involved? Ari Rubinstein of GTS Securities, James Angel, his employee from Rubinstein's Modern Markets Initiative. But they both had links to FINRA, which gave GTS permission to continue trading OSTCO on the OTC despite objections from Overstock. So, when you observe James Angel defending FINRA's action and promoting trading next breach as if he speaks for shareholders, what he's actually doing is promoting the interests of his employer Ari Rubinstein of GTS Securities, the same firm with links to the earliest and final trades in MMTLP. Small world, MMTLP fiasco. On top of that, he added this: it's probably nothing, MMTLP fiasco. And he again added several screenshots of the connection, basically of the relationships in between these people and these companies. And I have to say it is quite interesting to read it. And what is more interesting, guys, you can see everything in his video. And by the way, this video was published by him on March 27th of this year. So I have to say that this information should be and is very important for our community, especially in light of the most recent news. But guys, for now I want to pay attention finally to the tweet that was written by George Palikros, and I will read it within just a couple of minutes. And first of all, I want to pay attention to this article that was published by Bloomberg in 2015, and it's titled "How to Catch a Spoofer." And here you can see on your left side, you can see the table with the price of a certain asset, and I will explain you what is this asset about, with the bid and ask number of orders. And here you can see the link. Here's what just 60 seconds of trading in one market looks like. Let me click on it, and here you can see how many orders are there that happened basically within just 1 minute, 60 seconds of a trading session. And here is the explanation. The trading on the CME Group's Chicago Board of Trade is anonymous and organized in an order book like the one seen here. It shows the best prices to buy or sell near the last traded price. The total number of bid and ask offers at each price indicates where the demand is. What you just saw was buying and selling the market for futures based on the US government's 10 years Treasury bond, which trades on the Chicago Board of Trade. This is where the spoofing alleged in HTG's lawsuit took place. In that minute, orders were modified or executed more than 5,000 times. And guys, let me show you further. Here is another, wait a second. It takes a practiced eye to catch a spoofer in that maelstrom. Regulators or high-frequency trading competitors like HTG look for irregular patterns or behavior. There are several types of spoofing, but in the HTG case, what's alleged is a three-stage process. And here you can see the price, actual price. It is an equilibrium between buys and sell orders. Here is the volume who want to sell, and here is the volume who want to buy. And let me show you the next part of this investigation. The first stage is called the build-up. The spoofer places many phantom orders to sell, orders the spoofer doesn't intend to make good on. Honest traders are tricked into following suit and enter sell orders on the expectation that prices will fall and they can buy back the contract for profit. And here you can see the pressure that happens with the additional volume right here. Next one. Here is the next spoofer removes his fake demand from the order book. And right after that, guys, take a look right here. So he can sweep the market with a large buy order. And this is the action itself. First of all, they placed a lot of orders in order to show the market that they intend to sell. Then they remove these orders within a blink of an eye, and then they add a completely opposite order to buy. And this is how the spoofing happens. Let me show you right here. So, of course, honest traders change their minds all the time and cancel orders as economic conditions change. That's not illegal. To demonstrate spoofing, prosecutors or regulators must show the trader entered orders he never intended to execute. That's a high burden of proof in any market. And here you can see that a lot of orders that were collected on this side, you can see it with the green lines, all of them were removed at this point. On top of that, let me show you how many dots are there during just several months of trading, and all of these dots were the same actions of spoofers during the 2013 trading sessions. And guys, if Bloomberg knows how it happens, if all of the authorities know the same, how it is even possible that these actions are still on the market. In my opinion, it doesn't make sense and it needs to be changed. And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed.